Hello everybody and welcome to Lauren Loves Color. This is Lauren. I have an exciting flip-in review for you today. These are 4 new books that I've acquired via various means and I'm excited to show them to you. They're fairly new on the market, so I wanted to make sure that I kind of did a formal flip through and review for you so you could be aware of exactly what you're getting into. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with the newest release by Sachdeva. This is Magical Artifacts Color by Number book for adults. Now, I have started ensuring that I am writing down all of the stats about this book. This book is currently retailing for $4.99 on Amazon. All of these books you can find on Amazon. Sachdeva usually does his new releases at a discounted price of $4.99, and then it will probably go up to his regular price of books, which is around $6.99 for most of his books. There are 30 images in this book. It is color by number. On the back, it features a 16 color palette. This is different than his standard 21 color palette that he normally uses. Not quite sure why it's a different color palette for this book, but the good news is that there's no like new colors in this. It's just a more condensed palette, so you can still use your color matches, like your red for your red, your magenta for your magenta. You can still use your color matches for here. It's just a more condensed, streamlined palette. He has a preview of 3 pages inside of the book here, and then some other color by number books if you're interested in looking into those. So the interesting thing about this book too is that there are 30 pages in here. He normally has kind of a standard 25 images that he includes. I even double counted to make sure that I was counting correctly. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what is inside the book. So inside this book, you're going to find hand-drawn designs of magical and mystic art that are just waiting to be colored. Start your artistic adventure with 25. It's actually 30 illustrations of magical elements composed of enchanting lamps, mythical costumes, heavenly sword, dazzling crystals, potions, wizards, and many more fantastical designs. This is perfect for the time of year that we are getting closer to Halloween. Also, I want to mention that this book was sent to me by Sachdeva for review, so thank you to Sachin for sending this book to me. Nice little key on this book belongs to page, and then we jump right in. For Sachdeva, this is a very typical layout for him. The image is on the right hand side. On the left hand side, he usually has some really cool looking nice motif, black backed pages, and then the entire color palette listed on the left hand side. So that is available for you for your reference here for the images on the right. So really cute, just fantastical type of images like he mentioned in the entry, and this was the page that I completed. This took me forever. It took me a series of 2 days to actually color this. There's a lot going on this page. What I utilized was alcohol marker. I think I used my Tau Tree markers, and I'm going to try to see if I can make it shine a little bit. I used my Tau Tree markers on here. I used Prismacolor pencils for shading. I used a variety of different glitter gel pens. I used, what did I use on the background? Is that Distress Oxide? I think that is Distress Oxide. No. Is it? It might be Distress Oxide, and then I used Jane Davenport pastels for like some blue and purple. I used some Jelly Roll Moonlights around the stars. I used some acrylic paint pen for around the lights. And then I use this new stuff called Dragonfly Glaze. And Dragonfly Glaze is actually an acrylic paint. It looks like this stuff here. It is made by Folk Art, and it is a clear glaze, but it produces like a not holographic, but a kind of prismatic effect. I don't know why the word escapes me, but yes. So it creates this nice, beautiful shine and shimmer on these lamps where these dragonflies are, and I like it very, very, very much. So I did this page, and this was a lot of fun, of course. And let's go ahead and move on to the next pages. Lots of really fun, like little clusters of different items. This one definitely, and he even says in here, this one is for adults. And I would agree with that. There's a little bit more level of detail here. Now, I definitely think if you have like a teenager or something like that, this book would still be totally fine for their skill level. but lots of really fun, creative things that you can do in here. I just see this book is perfect for Halloween, perfect for the use a lot of glitter, neons, you know, and things like that. So if it calls for a green, utilizing like a neon green, a bright blue, bright purple, I just see that as being perfect. Like this one's a little bit more simple, not so complicated. Crystal ball. So again, like lots of really fun, like magical artifacts. I think there's only one picture that even includes the picture of that includes like a person in it. Most are kind of like things, and things that you would think that like wizards or witches or things would utilize to do their magic. Cool looking sword. I almost did this page with this lamp. I thought this was cool. I just instantly think of Aladdin as soon as I see this. Like I was just imagining you could use some distress oxides or some palette pastels to kind of make like a smoky look with it. And number 9 is the background, which is light blue, but I would probably do like a dark blue or even use like an acrylic paint to like black out the background to make it a nighttime scene. I think that would be fun. I like to alter my color by numbers now and just make them kind of fun and pieces of work. I really enjoy kind of like the finishing touches and the backgrounds and things, and so picking out the colors isn't necessarily my favorite. So color by number is perfect because the colors are already picked for me. And I know you can see like the colors and stuff, you know, the numbers through, but I still think it creates kind of just a very magical and fun experience. This image is a little interesting. It's the only one like this in the entire book that's like a mandala. I think that's kind of fun to do, like a magic mandala. I also thought about doing this page and doing the Dragonfly glaze over the like the crystal ball, or just in the word magic. I thought might be kind of fun. Yeah, this is the only one I think that features the image of an actual person. It's like a wizard guy. Just information about his social media. I'm reminding you to leave a review on Amazon. And then he provides plenty, I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sheets. Yeah, and I used some Distress Oxide. It looks like I was practicing a little bit on this paper. There's a nice couple of blank sheets of paper in the back. Certainly nice for you to practice with your different mediums that you like to use. So that is Magical Artifacts Color by Number for adults. All right, our next book is quite a hefty one. This was a book from Coloring, the newest book from no, not even the newest book from Coloring Book Cafe while I am filming this, but one of the new releases by Coloring Book Cafe this month, in the month of July. This is 100 Easy Designs adult coloring book. So obviously you can see this guy this is a hefty guy. On the back, you'll see here just some sample images, 9 different sample images that are included inside of the book. This is a book that I did purchase myself. I am really enjoying the Jade Summer Easy Designs book that is 50 images. I've done a flip through of that book as well, but this one also just caught my eye because I really enjoy something simple, easy, and fun, but something that I can practice different techniques with. So you will find this nice book belongs to page. And actually what's interesting is this is a pretty busy and detailed image on the book belongs to page. But this is actually, I believe, the first Coloring Book Cafe. It is the first Coloring Book Cafe book that I've ever owned. So maybe their belongs to pages are pretty standard. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm excited about trying their books for the first time. So we've got a lot of images to flip through. I like that they're single-sided, nice black backed pages. I really love this one. I've got to figure out how I want to color that one exactly, but I think that's really cute. Again, very simple and easy images to color, but there are certainly things that you can add to them to make them lots and lots of fun. The line work on this is nice and dark. It is probably a little, no, I think it's probably about optimal for what I would like to use alcohol markers for. Maybe like a hair thicker would be great, but not 100% necessary. I mean, it certainly gives you lots and lots of images to choose from. These are all just line art. None of them are grayscale like what I saw in the Jade Summer book. But I think that that's what's a little bit nice about this just being line art, though, is it allows me to practice some shading and some blending with alcohol markers. This book I actually purchased too because I felt like I could find some pages in here to do some tutorials. A lot of you guys have mentioned you really want to see me do more tutorials, excuse me, on how I use different supplies, how I choose colors, going through again with my crayons and really doing kind of a color along. So I'm going to take your advice, and this is probably the book that I will be working from the most. So if you want to purchase this book, by the way, I did not mention, this book is $9.99 on Amazon. So it's $10 for 100 pages. And really, really just nice and easy. Just a great way to be able to practice some different techniques without having to utilize a lot. And these are great because you can do the background or you can leave them blank. They're for a nice wide variety of colors of different skill level. This is really cute with the little ladybugs, a butterfly. And then this is the page that I did. So you can see you definitely can leave the background blank, and I almost thought about doing that. And then I kind of decided not to. What I used in this picture was I used alcohol marker. I think I used my Cali Art markers. I used crayon for shading. I used some Jelly Roll Glaze. I don't know if you can see that on the strawberries at all, but the little seeds, I used Jelly Roll Glaze. I used Jelly Roll Glaze on like the tape here. I used some white acrylic paint marker to do kind of the little highlights here. And then Jane Davenport palette pastels for the backgrounds. And that is almost a look, let me grab some. They look just like this. I think this is actually the palette that I used. I used this color here and then went over it with this color here to create this kind of like purpley gray, kind of smoky looking background. And literally you use what looks like a one of those cheap eyeshadow applicators, and you just kind of rub over the white area, whatever area you want to fill in. And these by far are my favorite things to use for backgrounds because they are so easy. They're not messy. These palettes are great. I have all 3 sets of them. I wish they came in a wider variety of colors. Like I wish there were more, I have one that's warm tones, but I wish there were more yellows. I wish there were more grays, and I wish there was a black. And they don't offer these in that, but you can also just pick up a cheap eyeshadow palette and use eyeshadows from, you know, other palettes and stuff you have. And I haven't dug through all my eyeshadow palettes yet, but I'm sure that you can probably find something that would work to this extent as well just with eyeshadows. But absolutely love how this page turned out. I think it looks really, really great. I was trying to kind of practice a page in this book too, because like I said, I probably will be doing some tutorials in here and kind of showing you how to use different mediums and things like that. Cute turtle die. Some cups, roses, flamingos. If there's a page in here that you're like, I would love to do a color along with that, or buddy color a page, please let me know. And I do want to explain, I'll explain this here, and I will also explain this in my finished pages, because I know a lot more people watch those videos too. If you were asking me what a buddy color was, for all of my new friends on this channel, a buddy color is that you connect with somebody. It's usually via Instagram, so you can reach out to me on Instagram. I'm at Lauren Loves Color, all one word, on Instagram. You can go follow me over there. If you have a book, like let's say you have this book, you can message me and say, hey Lauren, I have the 100 easy designs from Coloring Book Cafe. I'd love to color with you. And we would pick a page, we would agree upon a page. So maybe it's this basket of bread, or it's a page in here, the cheese page, whatever, and we would both color it separately. And then when we were complete, we'd let each other know, hey, I'm done with my page. And then sometimes people share their images with each other before they post them on Instagram. Sometimes we don't, just depends upon what your preference is. But typically we show each other what our finished page looks like, and then we each post our finished page at the same time on Instagram and tag each other, so that people can see our pages. And then I always like to mention in my completed pages for the month who I've buddy colored with. And so if I buddy color with you, I'll tag you and make sure to leave your Instagram information and or YouTube information if you have a YouTube channel, so that people can go and check you out. So yeah, cute puppy dog. So I like the images in here, like I said, because they're really, really simple and easy. And so I feel like if I do a tutorial, this will really cater to anybody's skill level. And I really feel like sometimes people are just like, it's just so easy and so basic. And maybe it is for you. But for me, I still am what I consider kind of a beginner to intermediate level colorist. And so practicing on big things like this makes it a lot less intimidating to me, because I'm not trying to sort and find so many different colors. Like, you know, you can color these pages with 4 or 5 different colors maximum, and it's not so overwhelming. So like this is just a nice simple page, but there's still a lot that you can do with it to add texture to the shade, to add shine to the clock, to make the vase look wet, to make the polish of the you know, lamp look like metal. I mean, there's lots and lots of things that you can do to kind of make it, to jazz it up a little bit. This page is a little random to me in this book. I'm not sure why, but it's the only one that's like this that looks like stained glass. I just found that one to be a little bit interesting. It just didn't quite seem to mesh and mold with the rest of what the book showed. And I'm kind of holding it like this so that you can actually see the page. Lots and lots of flowers in this book, of course. I love this one. I love any page with food. I love making food look like food. And there's actually quite a few pages you can see that look like food. Like this one would be fun to kind of show you how I use my jelly roll glaze to make like the ice look wet and the cup look wet. But this would be really simple if I wanted to show you how to use alcohol marker in big areas, and then to do some shading tutorials, and then to do a simple background. So, you know, I can do that in 30 minutes with a page like that. When I'm doing a tutorial, I don't want it to be too long. Like I don't want you guys to be sitting there for half an hour, you know, while I'm coloring a page, and then another half hour while I'm doing and talking through all of the elements of finishing the page. So, yeah. So that is why I enjoy these like this, because it's easier for me to color in with alcohol marker, or whatever it is that I'm using. And then I can show you quickly how I do the background or whatever. And this is standard Amazon paper too. And I anticipate that most of the videos that I'm going to be filming specifically around, you know, how, and there's a nice color chart here. You can test your colors and stuff there. A thank you page. And so what was I going to say? I anticipate too doing all of my tutorials, at least thus far, on the things that people have requested of me on books that have standard Amazon paper, just the regular Amazon coloring paper, because that's what the vast majority of books are made out of. And I feel like that's a pretty easy way to do some of that. So that was 100 Easy Designs Adult Coloring Book by Coloring Book Cafe. All right, so this is Stone Mosaic Book 4. This is from the Belba family, and this book currently is on sale on Amazon for $8.99. It contains 25 images. On the back here is their standard 22 color palette, and then some sample images here. If you're not familiar with these books, this is the 4th book in the release. I have book 2 and book 3. Book 1, I wasn't as huge of a fan of the images, and so I don't own that one. I am almost... I'm at least a good halfway done, over halfway done in book 2. I've done a couple images out of book 3, and so this is the 4th in their series. What's really nice about this book is it's a very unique type of color by number. These books really made it into my top 10 color by number books that I enjoy. It is by far my favorite series by the Belba family. And what I like about it is how simple it is. So on the right hand side, you've got these nice little pebbles that are going to make up a mystery image. All of your different color choices are going to be located on the left hand side. They're all single-sided images, perfect for alcohol markers, and each of the pebbles has a nice thick bold outline. So it makes it really easy for you to be able to utilize your alcohol markers to color these pages. And they're just relaxing and fun. I don't feel the need to like add and kind of like zhuzh up and do anything crazy. This really is my sit on the couch and watch TV and color book, just because it's so small. So it's not like I'm coloring like a big part of the page and having to, you know, pay too much close attention. You know, I'm not using a lot of different mediums in this book. I literally am just grabbing a pack of markers and going to town. I do also like that the books are not themed. So, you know, a lot of books that I'll own, like, so Sachdeva book, the next book I'm about to show you, have very specific themes. So you're going to color all of one thing. You might color flowers or animals or birds or, you know, whatever. Well, this book, it's going to be a variety of different things. So you don't really know what you're going to get. So like the front covers that are on the book kind of show you maybe what one design is, but this doesn't mean this entire book is about food. I wouldn't be against that. I love coloring food, but you're going to get a wide variety with Belba family, which is what I really like. And it's just fun because your image kind of slowly comes to life and you're like, what is that image? And so this is the one that I did. Obviously this is a high heel, kind of looks like a Louboutin high heel with the red soles and stuff too. But at first when I colored this image, I had no idea what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be some sort of an animal. And then once I did the black, it was one of the first things that I did because it was just kind of right in the middle. I don't know why in these books I don't like to follow like go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I like to just grab, oh, and I realized that I actually didn't color that one in, so I need to go back and do that. I have no idea what markers I even used. That's going to be interesting. So I need to color that little pebble and I left that out. But I just really enjoyed this book. It's just nice and fun and relaxing. There are the landscape and portrait images located in this book, but I think they have them clustered together. Hopefully Belba family has learned about that. They used to have them where they weren't grouped together and you were constantly having to flip the book back and forth when you did flip throughs like what we're doing now, but they seem to be all grouped together. So I know most of these are going to look blurry, but sometimes in camera you can sort of see what they are. I'm kind of trying to make out some of the images and I can't really see anything much, but here is our information about their social media and stuff here. They're a fantastic company. They've published a nice wide variety of different books if you're interested in looking at them. And that is it for Belba Family's Stone Mosaic Book 4. All right, last but certainly not least, and I do want to mention for Stone Mosaic Book 4, because I forgot to mention this was so kindly sent to me by Belba Family for review. So thank you to Belba Family for providing that book for me. This last book was actually Happy Mail from a friend, Debbie. I just want to say thank you so much, Debbie, for sending me this book. This one is a lot of fun. She actually sent me 2, but one of the books has been out for a while, has a lot of flip throughs. This one does not. This one is a fairly new book on the market. This is Halloween Spooks. This is by Alice Mills Publishing. This is a cross-stitch style adult coloring book. This is the 3rd in her series of her Color by Symbol series that I have. Here are some of the images on the back, and I actually feel like this might be my favorite book that I own in this series completely because of how much I actually love the images in here. So this is on the premium Amazon paper, so it's very nice and smooth. You're going to need to use markers on these images as the colored pencils and things don't work well on this paper because it's very smooth. What you'll see here and what I do really like, she has really cute names of images here, a key on the left hand side with what you need for just the colors for the image that you're going to be coloring, and then a nice little preview of what you're going to see. So this one is Hot Devil, got a little devil and pitchfork here, and then on the right hand side I'm going to just zoom you in. You're going to see very clearly that there are some nice little symbols right inside of here, and each of those symbols corresponds with the color that you're going to see on the left hand side. Now, I will tell you that these books are harder to see, even for me, than other books. I really have to pay attention to them. So if you have a visual impairment, this one is going to be tough for you. But if you don't, and you enjoy Halloween themed things, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. It's making me happy to start to see some Halloween images come up. And while Halloween isn't my favorite holiday of the year, I certainly like to color things that are Halloween themed. And it's one of my son's absolute favorite holidays. So this is really just fun and enjoyable. I just love the colors. Like, look at that one, Call Me Frank. Can you see that? Can you see how cute he is? I know there's a little bit of a glare, but he is, oh my gosh, they're just, the colors are just gorgeous. That's Swoop, Pumpkin Fully Spiced, Spooked Alive. I just get excited when it gets to be Halloween time because it makes me think we're getting closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving, I think, is by far my favorite holiday, followed by Christmas. But I have lots and lots of Christmas books. It's like I started my adult coloring journey back in September, like September-ish time last year. And so I really don't have a lot of Halloween themed books. And so this one is one of the very first ones in my collection. So thank you, Debbie, for sending this to me. That was so kind and so thoughtful. Absolutely not necessary, but certainly well appreciated. Zombie Brains, Mummy Risen, and you'll see that some of them are in the kind of like the hoop style, like a cross stitch style, and then some are like a full page. And these just are somewhat nostalgic too because I am a cross stitcher, so seeing the hoops and stuff just make me think of when I used to do cross stitch religiously. All That Counts. There are 20 images in here as well, and this is on sale on Amazon for $10.99. All right, so this is Spellbound. So this is the very first one that I did. It also happens to be the last page in the book, and I think it turned out really great. I really loved this. I have no idea what markers I used for this. I've been testing out so many different types of markers. I think I used my Ohuhu 48 set, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But this was really fun. Thoroughly enjoyed this. And this is the last page of the book. And the reason that I color it that way is because the markers, because I use alcohol markers, do bleed on the back. And while you might not be able to see that, I promise you, if I were to have colored this page back here, this All That Counts page, you would see that it would bleed through and it would be very hard for me to see the reference image and then the color key. So that's the one downfall to this book. If you're utilizing alcohol markers, you can totally negate that issue. If you use water-based markers or you work back to front, then you don't have that problem. So absolutely love this book. This is Halloween Spooks by Alice Mills Publishing. This is book number 7 in the series. All right, everyone, so that is all that I have for you today. I certainly want to thank Sachin, Sachdeva, and Belba family for sending me these books. I want to thank Alice Mills Publishing and Coloring Book Cafe for coming out with some great books. And thank you again to Debbie, who so kindly sent me this book as some happy mail. So I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below. Are you interested in any of these books? Have any of these made it to your Amazon wish list? Or have any of them made it to your cart? I will have Amazon links, of course, as always, down below in the description box if there's any information you need or if you want to look at any of these books on Amazon for you. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.